One cannot manage too many affairs. Like pumpkins in the water, one pops up while you try to hold down the other. If a man does only what is required of him, he is a slave. Beauty is the wisdom of women. Wisdom is the beauty of men. The gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. Laws control the lesser man. The door to virtue is heavy and hard to push. A young woman with an old man is really someone else's woman. Those who seek power for personal ends eventually run afoul of popular opinion. He who would rise in the world should veil his ambitions with the forms of humanity. A crisis is an opportunity riding the dangerous wind. The more you sweat in practice, the less you bleed in battle. All things are difficult before they are easy. There are always ears on the other side of the wall. Behind an able man, there are always other able men. When you are poor, neighbors close by will not come. Once you become rich, you will be surprised by visits from relatives afar. Only when all contribute their firewood can they build up a strong fire. A man who cannot tolerate small misfortunes can never accomplish great things. An inch of time is an inch of gold, but you can't buy that inch of time with an inch of gold. It's better to be without a book than to believe a book entirely. Clear conscience never fears midnight knocking. A little impatience will spoil great plans. Giving your son a skill is better than giving him 1,000 pieces of gold. If you bow at all, bow low. We count our miseries carefully and accept our blessings without much thought. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without one. A smile will gain you 10 more years of life. When the winds of change blow, some people build walls and others build windmills. A book holds a house of gold. A bird does not sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song. With true friends, even water drunk together is sweet enough. Talk does not cook rice. An ant may well destroy a whole dam. A man who cannot tolerate small misfortunes can never accomplish great things. Be not afraid of growing slowly, be afraid only of standing still. Experience is a comb which nature gives us when we are bald. Behave toward everyone as if receiving a guest. A fall into a ditch makes you wiser. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without one. Age and time do not wait for people. He who asks is a fool for 5 minutes, but he who does not ask remains a fool forever. An inch of time is an inch of gold, but you can't buy that inch of time with an inch of gold. Do not use a hatchet to remove a fly from your friend's forehead. A closed mind is like a closed book, just a block of wood. A needle is not sharp at both ends. Better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. Even a hare will bite when it is cornered. Towers are measured by their shadows, and men of merit by those who are envious of them. Slander cannot destroy the man. When the flood recedes, the rock is there. Great men never feel great. Small men never feel small. Those who cause divisions in order to injure other people are in fact preparing pitfalls for their own ruin. Men must sit in chair with mouth open for very long time before roast duck fly in. If you are patient in one moment of anger, you will escape 100 days of sorrow. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. There is a great man who makes every man feel small. But the really great man is the man who makes every man feel great. Happiness is someone to love, something to do, and something to hope for. Great souls have wills, feeble ones have only wishes. Laws are useless when men are pure, unenforceable when men are corrupt. When you go to dig a grave for your enemy, dig too. Be not disturbed at being misunderstood, be disturbed rather at not being understanding. The person being cheated on is the one that wears the green hat. Think of your own faults the first part of the night when you are awake, and of the faults of others the latter part of the night when you are asleep. It takes 3 years to learn to be a man of integrity. It only takes 3 days to degrade. He who keeps the hills burns the wood. He who keeps the streams drinks the water. A man should choose a friend who is better than himself. If I keep a green bough on my heart, the singing bird will come. Man is the head of the family, woman the neck that turns the head. It is the beautiful bird that gets caged. An able horse will never come back to feed in the same stable. Spring is sooner recognized by plants than by men. Better return and make a net than to go down to the stream and merely wish for fish. He who cannot in his own house entertain a guest, when abroad will find few to entertain him. Patience, and the mulberry leaf becomes a silk gown. The palest ink is better than the best memory. A man seldom gets rich without ill-got gain, as a horse does not fatten without feeding in the night. He who sacrifices his conscience to ambition burns a picture to obtain the ashes. Love is a seasoning for life. It can either sweeten or oversalt it. Do not choose the one you don't trust and trust the one you chose. Curse your wife at evening, sleep alone at night. Silence condemns more effectively than loud accusations. People live like birds in the woods. When the time comes, each must take flight. Not until just before dawn do people sleep best. Not until people get old do they become wise. A horse with two masters is always skinny. The ship with two captains sinks. Ruthlessness is key to a man's accomplishment. He who has never been cheated cannot be a good businessman. The first time you cheat me, be ashamed. The second time it is I who must be ashamed. The evil is dreaded by men, but not heaven. The kind-hearted is cheated by mortals, but not God. One meal won't make a fat man. It is easy to hate and difficult to love. Just as distance tests a horse's strength, time can reveal a person's heart. It takes more than one cold day for the river to freeze 3 feet deep. Clothing is cherishable when new, but relationship when old. It is easy to you to adapt it if your living condition ascends from economical to luxurious. Conversely, that becomes hard. If you work hard enough at it, you can grind even an iron rod down to a needle. Never judge a person by his appearance. Defeat is never a bitter brew until one agrees to swallow it. What you hear about may be false, what you see is true. Aged ginger is more pungent. Who thinks an inch, but talks a yard, needs a kick in the foot. When a man is crazy about a woman, only she can cure him. When you put on your clothes, remember the weaver's labor. When you take your daily food, remember the husbandman's work. A good neighbor a found treasure. It's not the beauty of a woman that blinds the man blinds himself. A curious woman is capable of turning around the rainbow just to see what is on the other side. A courtyard common to all will be swept by none. Without the aid of the divine, man cannot walk even an inch. Give a man a fish, and he'll eat for a day. If you want a crop for 1 year, grow grain. If you want a crop for 10 years, grow a tree. If you want a crop for 100 years, grow men. Habits are cobwebs at first, cables at last. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. In a group of many words, there is bound to be a mistake somewhere in them. Govern a family as you would cook a small fish, very gently. Patience is a bitter plant, but its fruit is sweet. If you want happiness for a lifetime, help someone else. Listening well is as powerful as talking well, and is also as essential to true conversation. Two good talkers are not worth one good listener. A 100 no's are less agonizing than one insincere yes. He who cheats the earth will be cheated by the earth. Only one who can swallow an insult is a man. One beam, no matter how big, cannot support an entire house on its own. Better the cottage where one is merry than the palace where one weeps. Distant water does not put out a nearby fire. The more acquaintances you have, the less you know them. He who thinks too much about every step he takes will always stay on one leg. All things change, and we change with them. If you want to find out about the road ahead, then ask about it from those coming back. Genius can be recognized by its childish simplicity. There are two kinds of perfect people, those who are dead, and those who have not been born yet. A clear conscience never fears midnight knocking. Learning is a weightless treasure you can always carry easily. One joy scatters 100 griefs. Want a thing long enough and you don't. Married couples tell each other 1,000 things without speech. Small men think they are small. Great men never know they are great. Do everything at the right time, and one day will seem like 3. Solve one problem, and you keep 100 others away. It is easy to open a store, the hard part is keeping it open. To be totally at leisure for one day is to be immortal for one day. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Teachers open the door. You enter by yourself. If you are patient in one moment of anger, you will escape 100 days of. Ripe fruit falls by itself, but it doesn't fall in your mouth. Before preparing to improve the world, first look around your own home 3 times. I was angered, for I had no shoes. Then I met a man who had no feet. Men trip not on mountains, they trip on molehills. Do not want others to know what you have done? Better not have done it anyways. A man without a smiling face must not open shop. It is not the knowing that is difficult, but the doing. A wise man makes his own decisions, but an ignorant man mindlessly follows the crowd. The people who talk the best are not the only ones who can tell you the most interesting things. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. Do not believe that you will reach your destination without leaving the shore. If you want to avoid being cheated, ask for prices at 3 different stores. A clever person turns great troubles into little ones, and little ones into none at all. A clever person turns great troubles into little ones, and little ones into none at all. The person who is his own master cannot tolerate another boss. Guessing is cheap, but guessing wrong can be expensive. Learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. A bird can roost but on one branch, a mouse can drink not more than its fill from a river. A person of high principles is one who can watch an entire chess game without making a comment. A child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark. To know another is not to know the person's face, but to know the person's heart. No matter how tall the mountain is, it cannot block the sun. Tenacity and adversity are old foes. Think about your own faults during the first half of the night, and the faults of others during the second half. If you want your children to have a peaceful life, let them suffer a little hunger and a little coldness. Fate has us meet from 1,000 miles away. Having love, drinking water will fill you up. Without love, eating food will leave you hungry. Living with love is happy, but living for love is foolish. Don't be afraid of going slow, just be afraid of stopping. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. He who asks a question might be a fool for 5 minutes. He who doesn't ask a question remains a fool forever. One bird in the hand is better than 2 birds in a forest. If the family lives in harmony, all affairs will prosper. A word already produced, team of 4 horses difficult to chase. After 3 days without reading, talk becomes flavorless. A single conversation with a wise man is worth a month's study of books. If a son is uneducated, his dad is to blame. True knowledge is when one knows the limitations of one's knowledge. To understand your parents' love, you must raise children yourself. One cannot refuse to eat just because there is a chance of being choked. Before preparing to improve the world, first look around your own home 3 times. A fall into a ditch makes you wiser. A man grows most tired while standing still. Three humble shoemakers brainstorming will make a great statesman.